The number one career skill that you can fine tune and hone today, it's not data. It's not coding. Quite frankly, it's not even AI. It's emotional intelligence. Because trust me, when everyone is overwhelmed and overreacting and fatigued from all the technology and the data and the AI that they have to integrate and start using, your ability to read the room, regulate your own emotions, and lead through the chaos, it's what's going to set you apart. So in this video, I'm breaking down why emotional intelligence is the most valuable skill for your career and how to start building it right now. Let's dive in. All right, I'm gonna start with my pitch on why I strongly believe EQ is more important than IQ in today's workplace and as we move into the future of work. Emotional intelligence is your ability to understand and regulate your own emotions. It's the ability for you to sense and understand the emotional energy of others. And it plays into your ability to influence another individual to go in the direction that you want them to go. It allows you to stay grounded under pressure, and it builds and nurtures trust with others and develops really meaningful connection. I honestly see EQ as almost like a stability skill. Yes, you can have all the smarts in the world, but when you're leaning on a team, when you're leading on your partners, on your teammates to actually do the work, you have to have the EQ in order to get it done. It's almost like IQ is the car. It's all the bells and the whistles. It's the design of the car, the design of the engine, making sure all of that is correct and all of the genius that has to go into making an incredible racing car. Your EQ is the fuel. That's the fuel. That's what's going to get your people moving. That's what's going to get yourself moving. That's what's going to get the people that you work with, your partners, moving. You have to have that. Otherwise, you stay stuck. You stay stagnant, even having all the IQ in the world. And if that's not enough of a pitch, according to the World Economic Forum's 2025 jobs report, employers worldwide are ranking emotional intelligence as one of the top needed in-demand skills at least through 2025, but likely beyond. And Talent Smart, as quoted by Harvard Business School Online, reports that 90% of high performers are highly emotionally intelligent, which demonstrates that EQ is a stronger predictor of career success than IQ or just having that intellect alone. So now let's break down how EQ or emotional intelligence can really supercharge your career. Trust me when I tell you that EQ is not simply a nice to have. It will be an imperative as we move forward. This reminds me, in thinking about the power of EQ to engage, to nurture, to get people behind a goal and to move things forward. It reminds me of how I was leading a team. It was a tech team, and we were introducing new innovation into the market. This is a consumer packaged goods company that I worked for, and we were going towards this really big trial, right? Testing out this new product, understanding that we can make it at speed, that we can make it to the right product specifications. And we were sitting in this review with our executive sponsor, talking to them about the details of the trial and what we were about to do. And at the end of the presentation, he said, and he wasn't in the room, he was in a conference call, he said, we need to add a few more legs or product variations to this trial. When he said that statement, you could hear a pin drop in the conference room I was sitting in. I was sitting with all the team. It was probably a room filled of like 17 or 18 engineers. And you could hear a pin drop. And we're all just looking at the phone and we're looking at each other because we have put in so much energy and effort to make the 12 different product variations we were about to run work in the amount of time that we had. And he says, we need to run these other 3. He's like, you need to change the trial plan to make sure that these can go. Get me the new trial plan as soon as you can. I felt the energy in the room get sucked out. Again, the silence was very telling. You could feel the weight. I felt the weight in the room. It's almost like my hair started raising on my arms. So I took a deep breath and I thanked him. I thanked him for the perspective. I thanked him for the introduction of a new challenge and asked him for some time for me to sit with the team and think about how that might be possible. So I hung up the phone, and of course, the team immediately outraged, venting, can you believe this? There's no way we're not going to meet it. Cassandra, it's not possible, so much. And I just let them go. Okay, tell me more. Why not? Tell me more. Tell me more. Again, name the emotions. What are we feeling? Great. We ended up sitting there for another hour or 2, trying to figure out options to make this thing work, knowing what the objective was. And I had a few that we think could work. But then at the very end of the day, I texted this exec sponsor And I told him, I need to chat with you for a bit. And we had a phone call, and I told him, I appreciate the rationale as to wanting to add the additional products, but I need your help to re-engage the team to build inspiration and motivation to actually do it. And I told him, when you made that request, the energy was sucked out of the room. What I need from you is to acknowledge the weight that you're inspiring bringing this request. I need you to be very clear with a why, and I need you to acknowledge the emotions that it's inspiring within the team, the emotions that are likely. He didn't really understand why he would need to state this, but I asked him to do this in an email out to the team. But he did. He crafted an email. He gave voice to what the emotions were that the team was likely experiencing. He sent it out overnight. Coming back in that morning, it's like the emotional energy once again had shifted because they had understanding from the exec sponsor that he knows this is challenging. He knows that I'm inspiring some difficult emotions within you. It was his EQ that I helped to nurture that then re-engaged the team. That's why I tell you that EQ is such a superpower. It's the thing that really can supercharge your career because you can connect with someone in a way that they will forever be behind you. You create these lasting connections. You know those leaders that leave a role and then their people try to figure out where they going because I'm following them? That's not because of their IQ, it's their EQ. It's their ability to inspire, to nurture, to motivate, to listen, to name their own emotions, to ask about how they're feeling, name your emotions. It's EQ, not IQ. It is a powerful, powerful skill and a must-have if you want to stay all those steps ahead as we move into the future of work, living in this AI-powered world. And now let's get into 3 quick ways to start nurturing your emotional intelligence on a daily basis. And this is very low-hanging fruit. The first of which is to name your emotional energy at least once a day. Just check in, ask yourself, what am I feeling? This could be after having a conversation. This could be once you wake up, but I want you to just sit, think about, internalize, what emotion am I feeling, and name it. Easy enough. Do that at least once a day. The second practice that you can start engaging in is to practice listening. And I mean really listening to reflect back what it is that you heard. This is a good way for you to start understanding and connecting with people on a real and emotional level, as opposed to immediately trying to get into problem solving and fixing and driving solutions. Simply ask questions and then listen to reflect back what you just heard. So practice this as often as you can. And the third is to help a little bit with reactivity that might happen as your world continues to move at a faster and faster pace. When something unexpected hits, when you get a new assignment, when you're engaged in a conversation that just pisses you off, here's a question I want you to have in your arsenal. What is this thing trying to teach me? What is this thing trying to teach me? And then try to find answers to that question. Sometimes you might be blinded by the emotion. You're blinded by anger, by frustration. You're so pissed off and you can't even see straight. If that's the moment you're in, take a beat, give yourself some grace. Don't try to process what is it trying to teach me. Take a breath, recenter, understand, sit with the emotion. I am so upset right now. I am so pissed off. I am so frustrated. Let me give myself a beat. Let me take some breaths, right? Do some breath work. And then ask the question, what could this be trying to teach me? What is this thing trying to teach me? It's one of the most powerful questions that I use in my arsenal so that I'm not reacting to things, but rather reflecting so that I can move forward in a productive way. That said, best part, free stuff. Link below, I got you a free chapter to my best-selling book, Change Enthusiasm, How to Harness the Power of Emotion for Leadership and Success. This is something that's going to help you as you're nurturing your EQ. It's something that's going to help set you apart in an AI-powered world. So check out that free chapter because, again, I'm not asking you to pay for it. So why not? And until we meet again, keep learning, keep growing, keep connecting with those around you and connecting with yourself. And of course, keep rocking.